Hello. Today is Wednesday, 1st of April. This is the video analyzing yesterday's day. Today was a no trade day for me, so I'm also going to be breaking that down in this video. But first of all, I am going to be going over yesterday's trade, which was a loss, and today's reason for no trade. Right, where is this? Tuesday, right? Today is Wednesday, yesterday was Tuesday. Coming into the day, I mean, obviously we have a bearish bias in general, right? We've been chopping, sort of choppy, but in general we've been going downwards. So we have a bearish. This is for yesterday. So I'm just gonna ignore everything. Let's say after this point, right? This doesn't exist. This is just for yesterday. Right. Looking at the 4 hour, I had a 4 hour gap here, which was accepted, right? And now, after yesterday's loss, I kind of did some more learning, let's call it, and now I understand that because this is closed, but this is already mitigated, I shouldn't really care about this gap. I mean, I should, but only like above this high. If we create a candle, take this, and then still close below it, then yeah. But in any other case, it's not that important. But doesn't matter. Something I learned, I guess. Potentially, we'll see how it plays out. This is the 10 o'clock. This is the candle. And then another bearish here, right? So there's a few bearish candles coming into to yesterday. I'm gonna just make these this length because just make it simpler. There is also a bullish 4 hour here, which I don't think it was tested exactly. Yeah, I don't think it was. Anyway, so going into the day, I was bearish. However, we do have like these zones of liquidity, right? But in general, I was. Why am I deleting that? Let's keep that, right? In general, I was bearish. We were in a but my bias was bearish. However, I also understood that we could be going a little bit higher to take out some of these liquidities from these fair value gaps on the 4 hour, because we have created now. I mean, there was a bullish here, but we rejected it. There's a bullish here, and now we're sort of accepting it. This is the 4 hour. Going down to the 1 hour, as you see, we had a 1 hour gap here, untested. We had a 1 hour here, which was being like accepted. We were making higher highs. So like this sort of made me think, like, although we were bearish, I was also potentially looking for a move upwards, because we are now, we've created a bullish 4 hour, we've created a bullish 1 hour that we've accepted, and then just going into the day, we were what just yeah, accepting some form of bullish fair value gaps, time frames, and all. 9 o'clock, right? Tuesday. This is Tuesday. Right. Yeah. It's Wednesday today. I got a bit lost. Anyway. Then here, nothing. What I sort of omitted, and I don't know if I should have, was the fact that on the 30 minute, this is the 1 hour, on the 30 minute we had a bullish here. Oops. I know this is looking like a mess, but I understand it, okay. We had a 30 minute here, this fat one here, right? And then off this 30 minute, we had a sponsored 15 minute, which obviously sort of gives you bullishness. But this was obviously after open. What I was looking for after the open, which is here, was that we also here had a 30-minute earlier. Really small, but it exists. And then I'm pretty sure there was a 15 or 5-minute something. Oh, maybe it wasn't the 30-minute. Maybe it was. Anyway, I know there was a sponsored somewhere, right? I don't. Let me try find it. Actually, I'm not in a rush, am I? There was a. Oops, that was the 1 hour. There's this really thin one here. So we had a 15-minute here. What the hell? We had a 15-minute here, right, and then another sponsored 5-minute, or here, or just, there was a good chance of going higher. But I was still bearish, especially that, I mean, now I understand it was a mistake, but we were inside of this 4 hour here, which I was taking into consideration. No, this 4 hour here. What am I doing? I'm drunk. We were inside this 4 hour here, right? Yeah. I was like, we don't know, because 10 o'clock is when it closes the 4 hours. So we don't know if this is gonna close. And I mean, as you can tell, we did close a lot higher, but until it didn't happen, no reason to think whatever, right? Anyway, going to the 15-minute on Tuesday before the open, we had a high right here and a 15-minute intermediate high, let's call it whatever. This is also matching with these highs, not perfectly, but you get the idea. I think this kind of, yeah, essentially we almost had equal highs here. And then going down to the 5-minute, I was like, okay, what is my plan for today? We are trading at the moment upwards, but I'm looking for a short because we are obviously in a higher time frame, bearish. Where is this? We are here, right? We were at this point, we were inside of this 4 hour bearish fair value gap. Of course, like I said at the beginning, this would have been my zone of interest, not this anymore, because this has been fully mitigated. But that was the mistake, right? Well, not the mistake, but something I didn't consider. And where does this link up with anything? So we are inside this 4 hour. My plan going into open was well, we have this this liquidity up here, or here, or here. We have liquidity here, or here. But obviously I was just targeting the first sort of liquidity first, and if whatever I wanted to see would have happened, then I would have had a trade, and that did happen, because why is this so dumb? Because at 9:30 opens, we sweep. Oh, this is. How do I reset? There you go. Wednesday, come on. Right. So, market opens, right? Market opens. We sweep the previous equal high and this 15-minute intermediate high. With the sweep, we create a bullish fair value gap, which we instantly inverse with a V-shape fair value gap. Inverse fair value gap here. And then I took this with a stop below here. And my target was just a 1-to-1. Also, just break even would have been here, but obviously this did not play out. And why it didn't play out, that is for me to figure out. I guess maybe the fact that we were in no like real zone of interest. Just because we're in this 4 hour doesn't really mean much, does it? This has been like fully mitigated, and I think I just gotta figure like that out. Also, we had some overhead liquidity, which obviously we took out later on in the day at 12, and then we just keep going higher and higher anyway. But we wouldn't have known that, so that what happened later does not matter. But the fact is that we had some liquidity above, so going up higher here, like it's plausible. Let's call it right. And yeah, we had a 1 hour bearish here, a bullish 1 hour bullish here, holding. So yeah, there was a good reason to go up, but there's also a good reason for my short, I believe. I don't know. We took out, like I said, these highs, and then I shorted. Was it a good setup? I don't know. Was it a bad setup? I don't know. It was a very difficult market, I feel like, in general. But I was very convicted we were going lower. Just because we were inside this 4 hour that now I understand maybe wasn't the best idea. And we swept these highs, inverse fair value gap, and that's about it. As well as, I think this is where part of the problem also lies in this trade. It's Wednesday, let's go back to Tuesday. Right, where is 9:30? So market opens, right? And here we have not the same thing as here, right? Because go up. We do sweep it, to be fair, on the next candle, right? We do sweep it on this candle. We do sweep it on that candle. But question is, do we? Yeah, we do sweep it. So there was no SMT really. Yeah, I don't know. I think this was just. I think this was genuinely a good setup, right? And it was just a losing day. I know some people took this exact short and also lost. So I think in general the setup was there. And yeah, just a bad trade. Bad, not good trade, bad price action, I guess. I don't know. Maybe this could have been avoided with the ES. I was looking at some analogy of it and someone said something about the SMT, but I don't understand SMTs. Yeah, I don't like I understand the idea. Like this should have been higher, lower, lower, higher, or vice versa on ES and MNQ, but I don't see this here, so I don't know why this um is apparently a bad thing to do. Anyway, oh well, difficult. Let's say trade lost, and it is what it is. We don't ever lose. We just learn, you know. So it's fine. Right, let me remove this. Okay, so now, once again, coming into today and why I didn't take a trade. We were at open inside of a daily bearish fair value gap, right? Wait, let me just remove everything again. I like going from nothing, right? We are above now on this daily, but it is what 6 p.m. So yeah. Anyway, daily we are in a bearish fair value gap, right? On the when does market open? On the 4 hour we had a bearish here, but we took this out before open, and obviously we have these bearish 4 hours as well, but we have been flipping them, so this is generally bullish. However, due to the daily fair value gap here, I was also bearish little bit more bearish, but in general, I think maybe I was coming into the day neutral just because on the daily we are in a bearish fair value gap, so we have to be somewhat bearish because of that. But on the 4 hour, we were flipping all of these bearish fair value gaps. So it's like, we are in general quite neutral, let's say. And what could I see here? Well, I mean, we are creating some from yesterday. We are creating some bullish fair value gaps. Obviously, we had some here that we accepted quite nicely on the 1 hour because it got tapped into, massive move upwards, and other than that, there is no gaps. I mean, but this got mitigated and accepted. So in general, bullish, but inside of this daily fair value bearish gap, I was, just considerate of that and thinking that it could go lower. 30-minute as well. We had a bullish here, which we inverted before market open, but then it started going back up, right? And I was just like not knowing what to think about it. But in general, that doesn't change much for me because, going down to 15-minute, you could see that this is, where is market open? 9:30 candle, right? On the 15-minute, we also created this bearish that we flipped like 15 minutes into open. But yeah, tough thing to notice, to see, to do. And what was my plan going in, right? I was like, well, we have this 15-minute here, which the first 15-minute closed nicely because I'll go down to the 5-minute. This is the 15-minute bearish fair value gap, and this is the 30 open, so at 45, which is here. As you see, look at the 15-minute, we went all the way up out of this bearish, but we still closed into it, which is generally quite a bearish move. And we also had this bullish fair value gap get inversed off the 5-minute. But I don't know. I just wasn't liking the price action today and decided not to take anything simply because of there not really being like clear targets or no like liquidity sweeps. My thing was like this. I think this was like a Trump tweet or something, or like a whatever it was. It's still a high, right? We have to take it into consideration. And then this was the highest low of like before market open, right? So what I wanted to see is either a sweep here and here and then play whatever way I wanted to, but we didn't get a sweep of that. But I mean, yeah, there was a case to argue for this 15-minute bearish gap, and also like I guess this candle flipped it as well, so it could have been the beginning of a bearish move coming back into this and then looking for shorts. And essentially we came into it, boom, same thing that I just explained, flipped it, closed inside this 15-minute, and then this I guess would have been the entry with a stop below what, this body maybe on the 5-minute, yeah. And then we would be targeting this 30-minute, no, 1 hour I think it was. Oh no, 1 hour, yeah. This 1 hour bullish fair value gap, right? It's already been tested, but definitely some like area to be interested in, right? And the break even would have been here, the closest, most recent thingy, but this would have been a loss. But anyway, I didn't take this because it made no sense to me, considering we didn't sweep any highs or lows. if I put on the kill zones, the London high got taken out, the Asia high got taken out, London low got taken out. The only thing left was Asia low, which is also why I was leaning bearish, why I would be looking for shorts, if anything, right? But yeah, I didn't take this. Luckily, I would have lost this. But in general, I think this was a decent setup. Yesterday's setup, I also think was very nice because, I mean, obviously, as explained, swept this nicely. I don't know. I reckon that in general, technically, that trade would have made sense. And same with today, like mechanically, technically, the trade seems to make sense. This is 9:30. Yeah, we closed into it. Big rejection. Bullish, inversed, closed inside here. Like, to me, both of these trades make sense, and both of these I well, I wouldn't say I would have taken because I didn't take the one today and I took the one yesterday, but like they both I feel like had reasons to play out and reasons to be taken. The only thing I guess with this as well is there was news at 10, which could have affected like price. Yeah, I mean it's choppy. Like what is this price action, you know? So clearly the news didn't do too much damage, but I mean trading before news also probably isn't the best idea. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't know if I actually like explained anything to myself here and is this gonna help me in any way, shape or form. I'm really gutted about this one. But yeah, you can't win them all, unfortunately. Cannot win them all. This setup, I reckon, was very juicy, but just unlucky, man. What can I say? Did not want to play out. Don't know why. I need to figure this out because this was a good setup. Yeah. Peace!